It involves trading currency pairs.
Okay.
So it's what do you call those things? Things like gold, oil.
I see. Okay. Have you ever done any research on any strategies in the past?
I haven't really done on specific strategies. I've just seen different things on different types of trading.
Okay. Okay, that's no problem then. Okay, I think we can begin. I don't take too much of you guys' time. So in this package that you guys have paid for, there's going to be two strategies we're going to be talking about. The first one is called the easiest NB. This one is considered to be an entry-level strategy because it doesn't require too much effort when it comes to executing. Also, by the way, I'm recording this session. Then when the lesson is done, I'll upload it to my YouTube channel. Then I'll send it to you guys. I'll send you links so that you can come back to it whenever you want.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, the first strategy we're going to be talking about is the easiest NB. This one isn't too mentally taxing. It only requires one account when it comes to executing it. Just give me a second. Okay, you know what, it's fine. Okay, yeah. Okay, this strategy involves two things: buy stops and sell stops. Now, what these things are, they're just types of trades that you can place with your broker. A buy stop and a sell stop. They're just telling your broker to buy or sell for you in the future. They're not executed there and then. So what they involve is you enter a certain price that you want, then your broker is going to wait for price to reach that certain point. That's when your broker is going to execute the trades for you. That's what buy stops and sell stops are. So for a buy stop, your broker waits for price to increase to a certain point, then they place a buy for you. Then a sell stop is just basically the opposite. So your broker waits for price to drop to a certain point. Then when price reaches that point, excuse me, then when price reaches that certain point, your broker places a sell trade for you. So that's what buy stops and sell stops are. It's not too complicated. These are just future trades in short. The easiest MB. This one is known to be the least effective strategy as compared to the other strategy in this package. The reason why is because we basically give away 10 pips. Now, why it's 10 pips is so that you can have a good space before the event happens due to spread increments. And I'll explain what spread is as we go on. So yeah, 10 pips, that's the distance that we place buy stops and sell stops. So what you're basically telling your broker is wait for price to increase or drop 10 pips before you place the order. So for a buy stop, your broker is going to wait for 10 pips to move, for price to move 10 pips upwards. Then after it reaches that point, your broker is going to place a buy for you. Then a sell stop is just the opposite. So your broker waits for price to drop 10 pips. That's when they place the sell order for you. Before we move on, are there any questions?
No questions from me.
Okay.
Yeah, equally, no questions.
Okay, that's good then. So yeah, that's basically the easiest MB. When you enter the section for MetaTrader 4, I'll show you how to execute it step by step, so you don't have to worry on that. Okay. For the easiest MB, there's a list of news events that we choose to trade the easiest MB with. This is the list. These are just news events. I hope you guys know what news events are. Or what should I run through?
Like the first one, or the one where the second one, that is the GBP, what it means it's this is the pound, eh?
Yes, yes. It's a news event that's happening in pounds or in
Okay.
Britain, yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, these are basically news events. So what happens with news events is that when a country releases reports, price tends to react to those reports that are being released. Now, the thing about news events is that the moment the reports are released, price gets affected there and then. So if an event is scheduled for 13:30 on Friday, at that exact time, you'll see price is going to start reacting. Now, not all news events react as much as others. That's why there's only a specific list for the easiest NB. So amongst all the news events that exist in the world, these are the ones that will be trading only. So if an event is not here, you should just ignore it. So these are the ones that should be trading only. I'll send you guys I'll send you guys a screenshot of this on WhatsApp so that you can use it as a reference. So if you want, you can master the individual events. So the events include the Canadian dollar GDP, there's pounds GDP, AUD interest rates, there's pound PMI, AUD retail sales, which is an Australian event. Then there's euro interest rates, GBP interest rates, and that's pretty much it for the easy SNB. Are there any questions for everyone?
No, no questions. Wait. I have a question on.
Yes, go ahead.
On where to get the news from. Do we have to like Google, or is there something specific that can be sending us notifications on the news?
There's an application that we use. I'll go through that during this same lesson. I'll show you how to use it. Yeah. Okay. Ackim, do you have any questions for everyone?
No.
Okay.
Pardon? I'm saying so far so good.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so the next strategy that we're going to be going through, which is the most effective strategy in this package, is the extreme SNB strategy. Now, this one is a bit more mentally taxing because you have to be managing two accounts at the same time. I'll tell you how to go about that. Anyway, so yeah, it requires two accounts. So for example, if you have an account with Hotforex, which is just a broker had to be executing the trades for you. If you've got an account with Hotforex and another account with Just Forex, you'll be using both brokers or both accounts at the same time. Now, what's unique about this strategy is that it's basically hedging your trades for you. So whichever direction price goes, whether it's buy or sell, you'll basically almost be guaranteed that in one account there's going to be profit. So how it works is in one account, you're going to be placing a buy. Then in the other account with the other broker, you're going to be placing a sell. So with Hotforex, you could place a buy. Then with Just Forex, you're going to place the opposite trade, which would be a sell. So this way you're basically hedging your trades. I hope everything's making sense so far.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you're basically hedging your trades. Now, how this works is, excuse me, if one account goes into profit, since you had placed the opposite trade in the other account, obviously there's going to be a loss. Now, how the strategy works is, the account where you've lost money, it's going to be blown. Like the plan is to lose all the money that's going to be in the other account. Then in the account where there's profit, you're going to recover the amount that you've lost plus much more on top. The thing that allows us to do this is the leverage that we pick for each account that we're using to trade. Leverage is basically like leverage allows you to open big positions with a small account balance. I hope that has made sense, or should I expand more on that?
Yeah, I think you expand more.
Okay. Leverage. I want you to think of leverage as like a loan that your broker gives to you. So the leverage that I recommend to everyone to use these strategies is 1 to 1,000. So what that means is for every dollar you deposit in your account, your broker can loan you up to 1,000 times greater than whatever you've deposited. So if you deposited $1, your broker can loan you $1,000 and so on. Now, this just allows you to hold a larger position with a smaller account balance.
Okay.
Yeah. So leverage just allows you to make more money off a small account balance, in short. This is what allows us to recover the lost money in the account where there's profit and so on. So the minimum leverage that you guys will be picking is 1 to 1,000. Excuse me. Anything below that won't allow you to recover the loss in the other account. So 1 to 1,000 should be the minimum. Anything below that is a no-go. But anything above that, yeah, it will help you out. So yeah, that's how the extreme works. So in one account, you'll be placing a buy, and in the other one, you'll be placing a sell. So by you placing a buy and a sell, there's no need for you to know which direction price is going to go when it comes to the news event. So whether it's a buy or a sell, you have an account there to help you out. I hope it's made sense.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Are they?
So I have a question on the leverage.
Yes, Chungu.
So do you place the leverage in both accounts, 1 to 1,000?
Yes. They're both at least 1 to 1,000. For just Forex, they allow even up to 1 to 3,000. So you can select that for just Forex. Then for Hot Forex, they allow 1 to 1,000. So yeah, they're both above 1 to 1,000. Chungu, are you with any broker? What brokers are you with?
Yes, with Hotforex.
Only Hot Forex?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine then. I can send you the link for just Forex, then you can create an account.
All right.
Yes. Ackim, are you with what brokers are you with?
Hotforex and FBS.
Hot Forex and FBS. Is your Hot Forex still active? Are you able to access it?
Yeah, it's been long. It's been long since I accessed it.
Okay. After the
But
lesson.
anyway, yeah, I think there was a time when there are some webinars which they normally send. So you'd find even if you have forgotten the password, they still send you another password to your email. So I don't know this time, because I think you have maybe 3-4 months I've not opened it.
Okay, then I think you should have access to it still. Okay. You can just verify after the lesson.
Okay.
Yeah, then I'll send you the link for Just Forex, because that's the broker I use.
Which one is that?
Just Forex.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's Hot Forex and there's Just Forex. They're two separate brokers.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we can move on.
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Just like the easiest NB had its own list of news events, the Extreme also has its own list of news events. Now, with this list, I purposely added these news events because these are the ones that are more powerful than the other ones for the ECSNB. The reason why is because with the Extreme, you want to take advantage of every pip movement that happens. With this one, you don't give away any pips. Your broker doesn't wait any pips before they can execute trades for you. With the Extreme SNB, you'll be entering the trade there and then. So the moment you click on buy and sell, you'll be in the trade live there and then. So there's no need for waiting for anything before you can enter a trade. So that's what makes it more effective than the easiest NB. Now with the extreme, I forgot to mention, if you're planning on trading a news event with, let's say, $100, what you're going to be doing is you're going to split that $100 in two. So since it's $100, you're going to deposit $50 in Hotforex and $50 in Just Forex. So you split the amount equally. So in one account, you're going to place a buy, and in the other one, you're going to place a sell. That way, everything is balanced out. I hope it has made sense.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the list for the extreme. There's AUD GDP, there's NZD GDP, there's CAD employment change, there's CAD interest rates, then there's USD NFP, non-farm payrolls, USD Fed interest rates, and lastly, NZD interest rates. So these are the only events that you'll be using the extreme with, the extreme assembly with. Just like the easy, I'll send you a screenshot of this so that you can use it for reference. But I would advise you guys to master the list so that you don't have to pull out the picture all the time and so on. Okay, moving on. Price. I want to find out, how much do you guys know about price when it comes to currency pairs? Like, are you able to calculate pip movements, points, and so on?
No, that's something I haven't really understood.
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, equally, I think I can't calculate.
Okay, that's fine. In this example, we're going to be taking Euro USD. So we're assuming this is the current price for this currency pair, Euro USD, which is 1.11612. Now, when it comes to price, we always ignore the last decimal place. In this case, it's the 2 here, which is the 5th decimal place. So we're basically going to consider it to be useless. So when it comes to calculating pips, we start from the immediate next decimal place, from the one that we've just ignored. In this case, it will be this one here that's highlighted in green. That's where pips begin. So if this one becomes, let's say, a 3, that means the whole price has gone up by 2 pips. Now, basically what I'm saying is pips are just movements in price. They help you determine the activity in price. So just like the example I've given, when this one becomes a 3, that means the whole price has gone up by 2 pips. If this one drops to, let's say, a 0, that means the whole price has dropped by 1 pip, and so on, just like that. That's how you calculate pips for currency pairs. It's making sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. One last thing I should mention is when it comes to currency pairs, there's two main types. There's JPY pairs and non-JPY pairs. This currency pair here, Euro USD, that's a non-JPY pair. Why? Is because it doesn't have JPY in it anywhere. So here there's euros, here there's USD. There's no JPY in it, hence it being a non-JPY pair. But if we look at this currency pair here, USD JPY, it's got JPY in it, making it a JPY pair. Now, the reason why there's only 2 types is because of how their prices are listed. If I can just zoom in. Okay, so USD JPY, this is one of its prices here. As you can see, the price is different from a non-JPY pair here, which is GBP USD. For non-JPY pairs, they are listed in 5 decimal places. I don't know if you guys can see my screen. You can see clearly?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So this is a non-JPY pair, and it's got 5 decimal places in it, as you can see. Then this JPY pair, it's got 3 decimal places. So that's the main differentiator between them. So JPY pairs don't have the last 2 decimal places here. So that's one way that you can tell them apart. Another way is just by looking at the currency pair here. If it doesn't have any JPY in it, that means it's a non-JPY. If it's got JPY in it, that means it's a JPY pair. So those are 2 ways that you can tell them apart. So just like non-JPY pairs, in a JPY pair like this one here, we're also going to ignore the last decimal place here. That's why it's smaller than the other numbers here. It's basically useless when it comes to adding and subtracting pips. So the pip calculations, they start from here, the 9. So if this number here becomes 110.20, that means the whole price has gone up by 1 pip, because this 9 has become a 10 basically. So there'll be a 0 here, then 1 up, then a 1 will be added here, making it 20. I hope everything has made sense.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. The reason why I'm explaining how to calculate pips is because of the easiest MD. You need to learn how to calculate, how to add and subtract 10 pips from each price, each type of price. Okay, we can move on.
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay. This app, it's called MetaTrader 4. There's also MetaTrader 5, but for us right now, it's not really important to be using MetaTrader 4. So this is the app that you'll be using to place the trades. When you first open the application, you'll be brought to this same screen here where you can see many currency pairs listed. So here is why you select a currency pair to trade with, but sometimes they might not be a currency pair that you are looking for. When that happens, or in that case, just click on this plus, then you're going to be shown folders. Then you can just look through those folders and check if you find the currency pair you're looking for, and in most cases you will. So just tap on it, then come back to the home page here, and you're going to see it added at the bottom here. So yeah, this is the code section. This is where I just pick a currency pair. Moving on, there's this part of the application, the chart section. This part just shows charts and how far price is moving in candlesticks, basically. It's not really important for us fundamental analysis traders because we don't place trades based on how these candlesticks appear. So unless you just want to see how far price is moving in real time, then that's when it becomes important for us, or somewhat useful rather. The part that we'll be focusing on is this part here, this part of the trade section, which is this part here. This is the part where you can see your balance, your equity, your free margin, your margin level, your margin, and the positions that you've opened. So for the easiest MD, you are going to see 2 positions here, one for a buy stop and a second one for a sell stop. I hope.
But on the platform, where do you press to bring this?
You press here on this part here,
Okay.
at the bottom here.
Okay.
Yes. So this is the part that we'll be focusing on the most when it comes to trading, because the moment the trade becomes profitable, we want to easily close it. So this is the part we'll be dedicating our attention to the most. So
okay.
Yeah, when it comes to placing a trade, just click on this plus icon here. That looks like a SIM card, and you're going to be brought to this page here. This is the part of the app where you just place the time. This is the part of the app where you can place trades. So when you tap up here, it will present a drop-down menu where you can select a type of trade that you want to place. Now, For this lesson, we're going to start with the easiest MD. Now, assuming we want to start executing the easiest MD, we tap there, then we're only going to focus on the last two options here, which is buy stop and sell stop. Now, like I said earlier, these are just future trades that are telling your broker to execute. So we're going to start with the buy stop. Assuming you tap on it, this is the page you're going to be taken to. Now, on this part of the app, we're only going to be focusing on two things: the lot size and the price. Now, lot size. This is just to tell your broker how much of a certain currency pair to buy. Now, assuming our lot size is 1, we leave it just like that, then we move on to price. Now, on price, since it's a buy stop, we're going to be adding 10 pips to whatever price. Now, how you add pips is by getting this number in red. I hope you guys can see that. Oh, sorry. We get this number in red. Then just like before, we're going to be ignoring the last decimal place here. So when it comes to adding the 10 pips, we're going to start adding to these numbers here. Now, when we add 10 pips, the total price is going to be 1.1781. Then when you're done calculating that number, we go to price, which is here. Then we're going to paste that same number, which will be 1.1781. Then when we're done pasting the number, we come to the bottom and click on place. I hope everything's clear.
Okay.
Yeah, so the main thing to remember here is for buy stop, we pick the price in red. Or if you want, you can just click on the plus, then it will update this price for you. It will bring it here. Then from there is when you can now add the 10 pips. So we're basically going to be ignoring the stop loss, the take profits, and the expiration. The reason why is because we want to save time when it comes to executing the same trades. These might end up taking more time than we expect. So it's just best you ignore them. So yeah, for a buy stop, we're only going to focus on the lot size and the price. Then when we're done with those, we click place to place the order. Then when we place the buy stop, we tap on top there. Then we're going to select sell stop. Since we're done with the buy stop, we now move on to the sell stop. So you tap on sell stop, you'll be brought to a similar page like before. Then just like the buy stop, you're going to focus on the lot size and on price. So the lot size, you maintain it just like the buy stop, which would be 1 in this case. But for sell stop, we get the number here that's highlighted in blue. The number is 1.1769. So just like before, we're going to ignore the last decimal place. It's useless for us. Then we start subtracting from this number here, the 69 at the end. So when you subtract 10 pips, the total is going to be 1.1759. Then you get that number to calculated. You go to the top on price. Then you're going to paste it here. Then when you're done pasting, you place the order immediately, just like that. I hope everything's clear.
Okay.
It is.
Okay. Okay, so Zoom is telling me the meeting will end in 10 minutes. Upgrade now to remove. Okay, when the meeting ends, we'll just start a new one. Okay. So yeah, that's basically the easiest MB. You're going to be placing a buy stop and a sell stop. Then when you're done, you now wait for the news event to happen. That's when you go back to, where's the slide? You go back to this page, then your attention should be on this page. Now, when it comes to executing the same easiest MB, assuming a news event is scheduled for 13:30 tomorrow. When tomorrow comes at 13:29, which is 1 minute before the news event, that's when you're going to start placing the buy stops and the sell stops. it should never be beyond 1 minute. It should always be 1 minute to the news event. So if the event's at 13:30, at 13:29, that's when we start calculating the prices and entering the lot sizes and placing the orders. So yeah, the sooner you can do it, the better. If you're able to do it 10 seconds before the news event, in that case, before 13:30, it will help you out. It will help you out even more because you get to avoid the movements in spread. I hope everything's making sense.
Okay.
Yeah, so you just need to practice so that you can get your time down to the lowest possible you can. The lowest possible time you can. But 1 minute is the maximum. It should never be beyond 1 minute. Are there any questions before we move on?
No questions.
Okay.
From me.
Ackim, are there any questions before we move on?
No, we can move on.
Okay. The extreme SNB strategy. So just like before, sorry, can I just go to that slide? Okay. Just like before, we're going to start placing the trade for the extreme. Now with this one, you're going to have both accounts side by side of each other. Now we're first going to start with a sale for the extreme. So we're going to click on the plus icon here. That looks like a SIM card. Then we'll be brought to the same page as before, where you can place a trade. Now with the extreme, we're not going to make any adjustments to the type of order we're going to be placing. We're going to maintain it as this instant execution or market execution. Now, this type of trade that you're placing is not a future trade. When you're using instant execution or market execution, you're telling your broker that the moment you press sell, your broker should enter the trade for you there and then. And when you press buy, they should also enter the trade for you there and then. If they don't wait for any movement in price before they can enter the trade for you. It's an immediate trade that they place for you. So we're assuming we're going to start with a sell order. Now we're going to be maintaining the same lot size, which is lot size 1. Then we're going to come straight down here and click sell. Then when we place the sell order, we switch to the other account immediately. And we enter the same lot size, but we're going to place in the opposite trade. In this case, it will be a buy. So you're basically placing 2 opposite trades in each account. So in Hotforex, you'll be placing a buy or a sell. Then in Just Forex, you're going to be placing the opposite sell, which will be a buy or a sell. If Hotforex places the buy, in Just Forex, you're going to place a sell, which is the opposite trade. But you're going to be maintaining the same lot size. I hope everything's making sense.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, just like the easy SMB, we're going to be ignoring the stop loss, take profits, and deviation. The reason why is because you only have 1 minute to execute all this. Now, if you add stop loss and take profit and deviation, that might chew into your 1 minute time limit. So it's just best to ignore everything and only focus on the lot size for the extreme SMB. Then for the easy SMB, only focus on the lot size and the price that you want to enter, which will be 10 pips away. So yeah, that's basically it for the easy and the extreme. Are there any questions before we move on?
I have a question on how to place the leverages when placing the trades.
Okay. Leverage, you select that when creating the accounts with the broker. They don't give you any option to adjust them in the app here, MetaTrader 4. On the website, when you're creating your account, when you're entering your details and stuff, they also ask you what leverage do you want this account to have. That's why I select 1 to 1,000 or anything above it.
All right.
I hope that has answered the question.
Yes, it has.
Okay. Moving on. Chungu, you asked about investing.com. This is how it looks. This is the application that you'll be using to know when news events are going to be happening. I'll send you links. I'll send both of you links for this application. But when you first download it, it has to be filtered. Now to filter it, you just click this icon here, which is a funnel. You click on it, then you're going to uncheck the low option and the medium option. The only option that should be left checked is the high impact option. When you download it and come on calendar, then click this icon here, you're going to see the options I'm talking about. But anyway, I'll send you links for this application so that you can do that. Now, as you can see here, it gives you options of yesterday, today, tomorrow, this week, and next week. So it just shows you what events are going to be happening during these periods. So yesterday, you can see what events happened yesterday, what events are going to happen today, which ones are going to be there tomorrow, then to give you a weekly overview of this week and next week, and so on. So in this example, it's giving a weekly overview. So Thursday, this was the list of news events that were there on this date. Then Friday, this was the list, and so on, just like that. So as you can see, there's times when they're going to happen here. Then besides that, there's the country where the news events are happening. Then besides that, there's a description now of what type of news event is going to be, its predictions, and how it performed previously. But these parts, they're not really important for us. The only important parts are the time, the country, and the name. Those are the only important things that we're focusing on. Now, like I said before, if an event is scheduled for 13:30, at 13:29, which is 1 minute before the news event, that's when you start executing the trade. If it's at 14:30, that means at 14:29, you start executing the trade. If the event is at 03:30, at 03:29, that's when you start executing the orders and so on. So yeah, this is investing.com. Are there any questions?
For the time, so is that time, is it automatically transferred to our time, or should we have to calculate it in our time?
Yes, it's automatically converted to the time zone you're in. Just make sure you log in, then you'll be able to, it will adjust itself to your time zone.
Okay.
Yeah, so don't worry about that. Then one last thing before Zoom ends this meeting for me. When it comes to picking a currency pair, let's assume we're going to trade, let's start with this one, AUD retail sales, which is an actual event that we'll be trading, by the way. AUD retail sales. Assuming we want to trade this event, we're going to get the country it's happening in, which is AUD, Australia, the Australian dollar. Then we're going to pair it with USD. So in this case, the currency pair that we're going to be using to trade this particular news event with will be AUD USD.